14th of February 2022, and of course throughout so many years, or throughout my life, I've known this day to be a very, very special day. A day that lovers take some time just to say, you know what, I love you so much. And is expressed through roses and chocolates and clothes and, all those things that just tell somebody you love them so much. Talk to me, how was your Valentine's? What happened? What did you get? This year, was it going to everyone, or it was just going to the ladies? Well, trust me, it's always a ladies thing. So, ladies, were you taken good care of? Not you featuring K-Chaps. And listen, if you didn't get anything, it doesn't mean the guy doesn't love you. If you didn't get anything, please don't compare yourself with your neighbor. Your 10 could be coming tomorrow. So don't worry about today. Maybe lazanga katongo broko pakati pemwedzi apa zvinhu zvinonetsa izvo handiti vachangobva kubhadhira mafees saka there's a lot of reasons why things may not have happened. But can you actually rate someone kuti handide because haana kunditengera fale? I don't know. Listen, it is the Entrepreneurs Lounge, and we're excited. Again, we bring you this exciting program where we talk about business, starting business, sustaining business, and things to look out for as well. And you know what? One of the things that I know at the end of whatever we're saying is that you can do it. But you will need to engage. You will need to understand certain things that will be important for you to stand out there. And it's now the third episode with the chartered vendor, Mr. More Nyazungu, is with me in the studio again. And the smile you're carrying tells me that you did well for Valentine's. For some reason, I get that feeling. I could be wrong. Please prove me right.
I did something.
We will not get into the details. We'll leave it that you did something. Okay? Otherwise, you may even tell us, then I bought I'm thinking a motorcar and then they got I've been saving for it, I did mix Maria business in any place now. But listen, it's good to have you in studio again. As we continue to talk about entrepreneurship. And today we're talking about something that's very close to my heart. When you talk about music, that's something that really is so, so close to my heart. And, in the course of the week, we decided let's sort of look at musicians and money and some of the critical things that musicians need to also begin to do in order for their business, in order for what they do to make so much sense. Now, maybe let's start with the question, which I don't know whether it's a necessary question. Why is it important for musicians to know about money?
Thank you, RK. Thank you for having me. Good evening. Good evening to our listeners. Yes, I think everyone is supposed to know about money. Unfortunately, especially me, I started knowing about money when I was, I think, at 20. Because we didn't know about money, our parents used to tell us that if you are going to, even if you are caught having $10, it was as if you have committed a crime. So I believe that musicians are not exempted from also knowing about money, because at the end of the day, yes, they've got talent, they're artists, but they are also in business. I think music is a big business worldwide. Especially in the countries like America, Jamaica. I think they even make a lot of money importing their music to other countries. So as a country also, it's very crucial for our musicians to actually know about business and knowing about money. Sometimes, when you get money at an older age, and when you start getting money when you've got fame, sometimes you end up actually using that money for unnecessary things, and you end up regretting. I still remember conversing with this other music promoter who said, I think there's a musician at this peak, he was making something like, I think 25,000 a month, but right now he doesn't have any of that money. Yeah, exactly. So it's advisable for us, even, I think from ECD, our students, they must know about money. So musicians, they're also supposed to be taught business, to be taught to handle their money after a show. What are you supposed to do with that money? After paying your band members, what are you also supposed to do with that money? So I can just say a business, music is business, end of the day, even a bigger business than some of the companies.
So maybe can we also say in this conversation as we go that if you are a musician and you want to break through onto the big stage, one aspect that you will need to research and study about is money.
Exactly.
Study how money comes, how money sustains, how money goes.
Exactly.
You know, so that, because if you make good hits and if people love you, money will come.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, gonna where say
Ishenda.
chibaya. So,
Yeah.
so knowing about money must be. It's not negotiable.
Yeah.
We can't look at it and say, you can if you want. You have to know about money. And talking about this, we have seen people who have been successful on the stage being buried like paupers.
Exactly.
You know, that's also just a demonstration of lack of understanding money. Now, let's turn on. Let's move forward and say, when we were talking about your sort of business and how when you started out, I think within a short space of time you were hiring other people to sort of complement what you're doing, and you sort of said that sort of gave value. It lessened um, the burden.
Exactly.
It lightened the burden and it gave you opportunity to focus on something else. And then, you know, let's talk about hiring of a team. Is it necessary for a musician to hire a team?
Thank you so much, Raki, for that question. I think as an organization or as a business, definitely they need a team. But sometimes that team, yes, you can hire consultants. I think some of them they work with production houses, and some of them they work with the team which they have maybe in their studio bit. Maybe they are working alone. So I think as a musician, yes, you need to be creative. You are going to be the creative, the one producing the music, the one who's going to be on the mic, but you also need people with other skills to complement you. So definitely you need a team to market your music, you need a team to sell your music, you need a team which is going maybe to actually help you in the operations. So definitely a team is a must.
Yeah, but I think maybe also, as we say, a team is a must. At what point? Because magitaraja asata akutapira kaya asata akutengwa asata kuyendeka. When do you think one needs to establish that sort of strategic team?
Yeah, just like I'll compare to myself when I also started off as a vendor. When you notice that maybe you no longer are focused, like you're not focusing on everything. Sometimes you are supposed to be in the studio producing music, then you end up out there while with some poster, and people they no longer even also respect you as a musician, and maybe you're the one who is also posting on your social media. Yes, you can do that whilst you're starting, but you're supposed to realize that quickly you need someone to help you, like just in a company. If you find someone who can help to actually give you more money or increase your revenue, let's say you now have many shows. I think there are now a lot of ways of advertising or marketing yourself, even as a musician or as a company, be it social media, be it using various platforms which are there. You can now make more revenue, and that person you hire is supposed to also pay for his salary and to cater for you as well.
I like that. Last time you did mention that, you hire people that bring money.
Exactly.
You don't hire people that become, people that become, what can I say, an expense to the
Exactly.
business, but people that really bring value. 13 minutes past 9 is the time. It is the Entrepreneurs Lounge. We talk all things business, those who are venturing, those who are starting out, those who have been in there as well. We talk about Nyama bank statements, understanding. So don't go see anything. That's the business. And today we've got Mr. Jerry More Nyazungu. And you know what? Every one of us is dreaming big. But I'll tell you something. I will tell you something. Stay here. Stay with me. My big dreams are no plan was not making money moves to September. Never let a moment pass you by. Chitaje mafani. My big dreams are no plan was not making money moves to September. And yeah, the new guy's the name of this guy. The song is called Big Dreams. But big dreams are no plan was not. Every money move has got to be planned. 17 minutes past 9, it is the Entrepreneurs Lounge. Dreams of brighter days.
Star FM. These are the things I see right in front of me. As I open my eyes, so I give thanks alive. As the days go by, out comes the sun, shining on my face again.
As long as you wake up alive, well, as long as you go to sleep, you got to dream of brighter days. Thank you so much for tuning in to the number one station, 20 minutes past 9. It is the Entrepreneurs Lounge. Visa Signal featuring RC, RK featuring the chartered vendor, Mr. Jerry, More Nyazungu. Tonight we are looking at musicians understanding the issues of money, looking at music as a serious business as well. 0775897897. Please go ahead and join us. And if you've got any other questions as well about entrepreneurship, it may not even be. And hello, RK, please can you just say musicians and footballers, because those guys don't even know what they are working for. They think they live on their careers until end day. There is a suggestion that we extend it not only to musicians but to footballers, because Anzi running a clue, an idea what say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take another one here. Hi, RK. Thank you for bringing that gentleman. May he also touch on footballers. That's someone as well. As he talks to musicians, Jimmy Cabana. There we go. It's a different message. That's also saying, you know what? You just don't just talk to musicians, but talk to footballers as well. So maybe let's stretch it like that.
Okay.
I think the issues still also reach out to footballers. And why? Because the next question I was going to ask, when you look at these two characters that we have now in the field, musicians and footballers, and you talk about flamboyance,
Yeah.
you talk about swag,
Yeah.
you talk about Dura, Fambane, Majagua, I guess it comes with the territory. I think it comes with the, you're going on stage in front of 10,000 people, and then
Yeah.
now I've noted that most of the musicians buy expensive cars soon after getting a few thousand. What is your advice towards early gratification?
Thank you so much, Araki, for that question. Yeah, to the footballers and the musicians, it's very crucial for you to be disciplined, because our careers are very short, be it even in business. I think we've noticed one of these big companies losing almost 239 billion one day. I think it was Facebook. So even big companies, you can wake up today without even having any cent. So even as a musician, as a big footballer, as your career is actually growing, or as you're growing your brand, it's also a bigger risk, because just imagine you're now spending, if we're used to maybe spend $10 a day, sometimes you're now spending $50 a day. So for you to drop your standards from starting, you're used to spending $50, you're now spending $10 or $1, you end up actually in being stressed, getting hypertension, etc. So what I just want to tell everyone is the musicians, footballers, companies, we should wait. Yes, we can make more money today, but just realize, make your money multiply. Make sure that you give cash flow, because end of the day, it's not about the cash which you have. It's about how many sources do you have to sustain that cash flow. So you must have cash flow is actually senior to cash. So when you have what cash, just make sure that yes, when you're a footballer, you're a musician, find other streams of getting this income so that you can sustain your life. You can make sure that you can be able to, because you know that a musician can just have a hit, one hit wonder, and you disappear in the scenes. But when you see these other people have made a lot of hits, sometimes they are now in the streets. They are now also reduced to vendors like me. So I just want to tell my fellow brothers and sisters that they should start taking their business seriously and making sure that they reduce early gratification. Those big cars, those 3 liters, 4 liters, they will come at their convenient time, and after you have created a lot of flows. I think one of my brothers, Mdiwa, who also happens to be a musician, he always talk about 7 streams of income, whereby you're now making money not only on stage, you're also making money maybe with your clothes, your labels. You also maybe have a fashion shop, or you're now a designer. Then yes, you can start maybe buying a Mercedes Benz. You can start maybe buying a BMW, even a Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Guys, todombo state ambichana because yeah, 3 liter izoita wakuma ngokuda kuonekwa unowacha. Yeah. I think like I said, you know what, every sort of I mean, if you're a footballer or if you're a musician, it comes with the territory. Flamboyance, but also, you know, what I hear you to be saying is the time will come.
Yeah.
Time that you know, yeah. Pane season yekuti unofanirwa kunge uchijigara imbojigara.
Exactly.
Usamanye kuti pakati pekujigara futi wakuda kukohwa and wakumhanyira, you know, early gratification. Steady, guys, steady. Ndonya yerutaura kapanapa. Let me just come here as well, because the WhatsApp also comes through and it also wants to add to what we are saying. Hi, it would be wise if these musicians and so-called football players, they opt to be properly educated on how to go about it, because honestly speaking, at this age, it's not about being seen with the common eye, but it's about sustaining your life as well. And I like this because, you know, when you have popularity,
yeah, that's true.
Sometimes you can be a public success but a private failure.
That's true.
You know, because you want people to see you, so you're looking all glossy, you're looking all, you know. But as long as
you're
so this one says, honestly speaking, at this age, it's not about being seen with the common eye, but it's about sustaining life as well. Sustaining life sometimes is something that people don't see, but you know that, you know what, my life is sustainable. Now, Mr. Jerry, let's talk about, we're talking about music as a business. Now, I know you register companies and things like that. Is it important for musicians, therefore, to register companies? Is it something that you can register? Can you register a company as a musician?
Yeah, that's true. You need to also register your company as a musician. Why? Because you, as a musician, are an individual. You are your own entity. You can be sued. You can also sue. I think that was the late John Chibadura. I don't know, it's Mozambique. I think he borrowed some instruments, and those instruments, I think he created a huge debt. And he ended up losing his house in Chitungiza because of that big debt. And people also say that was part of the cause of his death, because of stress. But if he was having a company, he was never going to be sued directly. The company was the one which was supposed to be sued first, before he sued as John Chibadura. So it's also wise for musicians to start having companies. And also a company has got an advantage. I've noticed a lot of musicians, they're now getting endorsements from other corporate world. So what they need to do now, when you're using a company, you know the issue of tax, withholding tax, it's now 30%. So what it means is if you've got an invoice which is over $1,000, you send it to a certain company. If you don't have a tax clearance, they can withhold 30% of that amount of money. So if it's $1,000, you're going to lose $300 to Zimbra, just because you don't have a tax clearance. And also the advantage of having a company is your taxes are now going to be calculated under the income tax banner than as an individual, whereby it's tricky for you to actually operate as an individual. As a company, you can fit some expenses to reduce what we actually call. I don't support the issue of tax evasion, but we need to do it on the tax avoidance, whereby through kanda assets at then we are reducing our taxes. So it's an advantage for a musician to have to engage using a company to avoid all these things I was mentioning.
Okay. Before I move on, let's also get some more message. Daily income $20 versus daily expenditure $50. So vanoda kuonekwa. Manyoro amunozoita also. Munhu wese guys anofanira kuita nzira dzinouya nemari kubva pabasa rake raanoshanda. Okay, tinozvitenda izvozvo. Hatirare musi watamuka baba tu panotinam. That's interesting. RK and say Jerimo, Inini, I think artists like any other business out there should work with a good team. A good team, I emphasize, because I read something about 50 Cent's book, and he says you are only as strong as your weakest team member. If a company or artist, PR or social media manager is bad, the whole company is bad to the customer. Inini, when I was selling boiled eggs, I got help from 2 kids. The kid who came back with 6 leftover eggs twice made it difficult for me to raise the capital I wanted to raise, because 6 iwayo ndiyo yangairi profit yangu. Ash in Chegutu. Ash, we thank you so much for hanging out with us every Monday.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment?
Yeah, I need to comment. Shout out to Ash, a fellow vendor. Yeah, these guys are saying what they're saying is the truth, because truku spend and you end up actually in debts or with problems or bubbling. I think we've got a lot of senior musicians who have been in the game for more than 20 years. I think even the late Oliver Mtukudzi, he died, but yes, he was at his peak. I think almost 20-25 years. He was sustaining this life, but haanotanga vakadaro vakatotanga vachitotambura vachitokwangwaya vachiridza munana rufaro, but you need to wait. Yeah.
I know you most probably like, RK, please play us a song. I will play you a song just now. So I've been playing. I played you the new guy, Big Dreams, and he says, my big dreams are not plan. Then, of course, I crossed over the deep seas, and I played Busy Signal, Dreams of a Brighter Day. Never stop dreaming of a brighter day. You don't need to stop. You never stop. It doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter where you find yourself, you know. One of the things I was saying last time when I was on my show, when you were not there, saying that in life, 2 principles that I think are very important: the ability to adapt and improvise. You know, sometimes when I want to borrow those on I'm a one, but you need to adapt to the new environment and improvise, and things will definitely get back to the top. Chairman Black Moses, I feel Jim, how you doing? He says bouncers, bodybuilders, powerlifters, inclusive of their coaches, help us as well on sports business. Okay, there we go. I think we're going somewhere with this agenda here. I think we need to zone in and talk to those sort of people. Let's see. This one will not open. I don't know why it will not open. I argue, what is a chartered vendor care? Iweka. Yeah, anyways, right. So you talked about the need to register, and you talked about the advantages of registering, that your company will be sued before you, and takes in chakadaro 30%. And I think we're hearing about this 30%. Please make sure, as a musician, invoice yako wakaregister, because unogona kwachurirwa mari yakawandisa Now let's talk about accountants and lawyers. Is it necessary for musicians and footballers to have accountants as well as lawyers?
Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's of paramount importance, because we talked about money, and you cannot separate the two, because you need to know kuti aya ndiri kudya iya profit here, or pamwe ndiri kutodya working capital, handichatogoni maybe kunoisa a poster, or I can't even go back to record another song. So you need to know your revenue which you're making, and also even having budgets to say, I need to get into year 2022. How much do I need to make in January? How much do I want to make in February? Then you now can craft your marketing plan. You can now craft your sales plan to say, how many shows do I need to do? How many singles maybe I need to sell? How many views am I supposed to have on YouTube? So yeah, you have a plan. you are doing your accounting well, you know your revenue, you know your expenses, you know your profit, which is very crucial, because at the end of the day, but there's no profit which is actually coming in. But you think that you maybe are making money just because you're getting money for the show, which is the total revenue after paying the expenses, maybe after also spending. Like people, they don't take into account airtime, they don't take into account maybe fuel, makeup with a female musician, etc. So all those things, if you're going to do them, that's very, very important. Then number two, on the issue of lawyers, I think I've noticed most of our musicians getting into problems after signing contracts, which they don't even know. Remember, you're just an artist. People must learn to stay in their lane. Because iwo kana usinganzwisise zvecontract, you must bring in a lawyer. If you don't know about the profit and loss, you must bring in an accountant. Whether on a permanent basis, if now you've got maybe a huge empire or these big musicians. But if you're still small, I think lawyers, you can afford them. If you just say, review my contract, maybe ndokupo wire. That's actually much better because you now know what you are signing for. Because I think we've noticed most of the musicians, after signing a deal, they are now in a fix. Yeah.
Valentine's evening it is, and we're talking about money, and everybody dreams of, especially these footballers and these musicians, especially these male footballers and these, male musicians. They dream of that perfect woman, that, they want to marry the most beautiful and things like that. But hey, you know what? To sustain them, you got to have lots of money. But listen, there can be nothing wrong with, having a girl of your dreams. As long as you work hard and have a lawyer, accountant, nigga.
I'm not hating on him, but I'm being appointed, cause I always see you cry, and you help somebody cry. You get to cry. Oh God, you're the Lord. Oh my God.
In my dreams, tichave name yedu nemota nevana nezve sezvakanaka. But you gotta jump out of your dreams and make sure that you sort out everything that you do. Check whatever you do, however you do it, make sure that it is a business. The approach must be business. An understanding of money and how to use money, how to save money. What is profit? Do you know what profit is? When you do a sell and you've got lots of money in your pocket, imali yako irese. Go back to Nyure, but think it happened to pleasure takunonakirwa. Innocent Tutsi, we've got a featuring M Major E. At 15 years ago, this song was produced and it is still sounding fresh in 2022. Beautiful track, this one here. And it is the Entrepreneurs Lounge. We're just taking it easy as we, share some very, very important facts, tips, nuggets, principles that can help you live a sustainable life. I think, Mr. Jerimo, I think a key word in our conversation is sustainability. Life that is sustainable. When you do your business, it must be sustainable, and in order for it to be sustainable, there's a need for you to know what to do, when to do it, especially when it comes to money.
That's true.
You talked about avoiding early gratification, and then also knowing kuti Maria business mariangu ili papi, and hiring people that add value to whatever you're doing. I think these are very, very important principles that can help one stay afloat. I mean, keep moving, and everything takes time. These so-called footballers and musicians need to be patient. I think the principle applies to every one of us. I think the principle, we may be zoning on these guys, but it's a principle that we all need to subscribe to. Now, here's quite a long one, and it's coming from Diamond Stitches in Harare. Kudzai Madziri says, the issue of sustaining life is very serious. It's not only limited to musicians and sportsmen. even some business owners, entrepreneurs are being found wanting. This takes us back to last week's show topic of separating personal income and company funds. Many business owners fail to live within their means. Once someone is running a business, they succumb to societal pressure and expectations, driving top of the range cars. This being a wave trending these days has killed many businesses, musicians, and sportsmen. As I was in Bingham now, My rule number one is formalize everything you do. Your hustle, tax clearances, all statutory registrations, etc. These act as a form of guide, even in terms of spending. That's Kudzai Zire from Diamond Stitches in a Hurry.
Amen.
Your response to, did you say amen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. Because what we don't want to end up doing is like, even I like what you said in terms of formalizing. Even as a musician, it's good for you to have an office. Every day you wake up, 8 o'clock, you're in your office. Maybe not even to record or to write music, but when you're in a working environment, you start to think, that rentals are supposed to be paid, uruzoti masalary vashandi vako ada kubhadharwa, and you're forced to work. So he's very right. You need to formalize. You need to make sure that everything is formal. But the problem in Zim now, not applicable to musicians and footballers only, but we need to formalize kana taita problem. Kana order yarambwa ku business reumwe. That's when you kwanze kuda tax clearance. Omanya otsvaga tax clearance. Kwanze kurudiwa NASA. Omanya otsvaga NASA certificate. Kwanze kurudiwa PRAS. That's how most of the people are obtaining documents. But that's why maybe we are a little bit defeated near the other race, because they don't start a business before they have each and every document needed.
Yeah. So there's a need for documents.
Yeah.
So that
Exactly.
12 minutes to 10 is the time. The Entrepreneurs Lounge. Let me see who is this one knocking here. Kings Ray, Minister Gwafa from Boboma. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Class, my princess from 10 World. And sorry, the class. You are forgiven. You are forgiven for that. All right. Now, we've got a few minutes to go, and we sort of started with the musicians, and we were given footballers as well to come in, and then we're given bouncers and sports people as well. It sort of just keeps going like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's because a lot of these bouncers as well get hired, and then they face challenges, maybe health challenges, and they do not have finances to sustain themselves. They don't have medical aid. They don't have certain things and then they just crumble and things go the other way. And this is why I'm sure some of these names or some of these areas have also been included in there. Now, one of the questions that I also wanted to ask is for example, it's a fact. I'm sure it's a fact to say that as a musician, you can't just live on music. Why is it crucial for musicians to start other business ventures and even footballers as well? Why is it necessary?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think earlier on I talked about 7 streams of income. You need to have a lot of them, not even limiting to 7. Because yes, you can be a top musician today, but tomorrow you might wake up one wasasato tukuziwe. I think the other musician who were famous in the 90s were famous in the early 2000s, but right now we hardly know them. But because they invested in other businesses, they're still able to live the normal life. I think the keyword is sustainability. They can send their kids to better schools. Some of them, they are now even occupying positions, be it in government, in other big companies. So you need to start develop yourself. If maybe you didn't go to school, when you're a musician, try to study, try to help yourself maybe with other businesses. Even if you're a musician, I think we can take an example of international musicians like Kanye West. I think he now has a label, and is making a lot of billions because of that business. But he started off as a musician, but he's now making a lot because of other hustles which he's now doing. So it's very important for you to always create those blue oceans, because I believe that music is a red ocean whereby most of the people are fighting for airspace. Almost, especially these days with this mushrooming of a lot of studios, anyone arongoproducer, saka everyone anenge ada kubvisa number one. So you must create now, try to go to those blue oceans whereby kusina competition, because kuma blue oceans kwakanyarara. So try to create, try to being creative. Kana ukavhuroka shopu, kana ukatanga masneakers ako, ukatanga fashion, ukatanga even kunyorawo bhuku seni, so be it. Yeah.
So that you're not relying 100% on just kicking the ball, or just playing that keyboard or opening your mouth and do re mi fa so. But
Exactly.
also that you can also open a shop, and zvinhu zviri kutofaya zvichitofamba, because zvazvinoita manje kuti voice rinozosvikawo pamwe futi parinozotadza kunyaso kuimba zvakanaka. Arikei kutaura zvakanaka, ningira kuti vanhu vachitero kuti arikei voice rake harichaita manje paredhiyo apa ngadai mamubvisa naye mwanako muri kusiya arikei achingoya nezivoice rake iroro mabhosi ovha azvinzwa kuti arikei I think waexpire takuda
tumapana
apa una takshop zvaya kana chii anoita ma1.
Exactly.
We've got a few minutes to go. 8 minutes to be precise is what we have. And listen, this is our show together. We bring you experts, we bring you seasoned entrepreneurs, business people coming in and just breaking it down. And I hope that you're partaking and making sure that you use, uchitora manotsi uchishandisa zvichitofamba zvichitoendeka. So send as many questions as you have. We've got 7 minutes, and we would like to throw them at the chartered vendor, Mr. More Nyazungu, to give us his responses. People in business, okay, what about them? Should also practice what's called management by numbers. It also helps to understand how your business is performing, even on what to spend and keep kuda lawai. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Advice on how to protect their business from pirates. Vodini vachibirwa nemavhenda. Iyo yazondanjozoiya chakubata ichiteyo ichakudzanya ichiteyo kurinzwisere kuti kune mavhenda iwo mavhenda anotengesa music mutown anenge achibira mamusicians.
That's true.
Akomana imbotaurai nawo sachartered vendor kuti akomana.
Yeah, it's a sad reality which is happening, Mr. Arake. Because those especially here in Africa, whereby I think because of technology also, it's not easy to access someone's music and to pirate someone's music. That's why even some of these musicians are actually launching their albums or their singles on YouTube, etc. So what I believe in is, in the same environment, we shouldn't be giving excuses. Yes, piracy is there. I feel for them. COVID also happened. It kills my shows. But you notice that there are musicians who are doing very, very well in terms of them producing good music and also financially. So sometimes we don't need to be crybabies. We must maybe copy what these guys are doing. So it is very correct in the GP. I think I will just mention someone who I know that has got a good working culture. Every day he's always at work. Every day he's in the studio treating his work seriously. I think that man is JP. He treats his hustle very, very seriously. So we need to be also serious. Tono kopoti mkoma JP. Imurumbo shwambisa sei. Nei zvenyu zviri kufaya. Why is that imi makasustain even zvakaoma? So we need to have a culture of not complaining. Giving excuses is never going to give us bread. Yeah.
I think also just to come in there as a music premaker to say, if you're a vendor, look for the artist and get the music from them. It may be sell on their behalf.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good business. That's clean money. Somebody nongonaka also iri Maria uniyozoti ndaishandirawo zviri pa nice. Enda unopo ka certain kamari weso kamarkup kako ndo business. Haina kuti unoduplicate music. Munhu yafototoka akomana kunyora kuproducer.
That's true.
It's not easy, so if you're a vendor on the street and you're waking up tomorrow morning to sell someone's music, no, don't do that. Link up with the musicians and let them give you the music, sell on their behalf. Because which is not my record bazaar. When we know CD and things like that. So when you do it because you've been endorsed and you've been given the permission to do so. All right. Do we have any Okay, please bring Winky D and tell us how he does his business. I think Wamwevanga Batsirike. Okay, okay. What have you seen about Winky D that makes you say that? Okay, so we got 4 minutes, Mr. Jerry Moore. Um, and we've been talking about musicians, like I said, Puzzles, footballers, and then Chatendere. And we want to wrap it up in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
What would be our takeaway today? We need some takeaway, something to take with us. What is that?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think to just sum it up is we should treat our music, be you a bodybuilder, you are is someone who is doing a footballer, just be professional end of the day. You need to know your numbers. You need to know, I think there's a subject which we left also, sales and marketing, how you're going to market your music, how you're going to utilize those 100,000 followers, 1 million people who are following you. How can you take advantage and convert that into money? Because sometimes you've got a huge following, but celebrity whereby you don't even respond to your followers, you don't even someone wants maybe but ignore. So we should take advantage of our fame, making sure that we convert that into the most important thing, I think, which is money, because money is almost close to oxygen. If we don't have it, sometimes apana zvaunokwanisa kuita. So I just want to tell these guys, footballers, musicians, be it someone who even is in business, early gratification is we shouldn't be spending too much. We should actually start investing into our hustle, making sure that we are buying even my instruments, we are investing into the business. When you invest into the business, end of the day, the business will start to reward you. You end up even staying Kunana Borodo Brook, who knows? Yeah.
I think the fear is that people sometimes don't realize that when you invest in equipment, it begins to sustain you.
Exactly.
It removes the pressure, and now when you've got, say, for as a musician, you've got your own instruments. You're no longer going to hire rehearsal studios, but you've got your own instruments.
Yeah.
And you can even hire those instruments as well to those without.
Exactly.
And then the business is sustainable. Part of my revenue streams, Mr. Jerry Nyazungu, we thank you very much for, we've been together for what now?
4 weeks?
4 weeks, and it's been half. It's really been effective. I walk down the street and everybody's like, and I'm like, no, listen, we've got Zimbabweans out there who have a passion to make things different, to make business exciting. And you say it's something that I don't think I'll forget when you're gone, that it's not the politicians who are going to sort out the situation, the economy, but you say it, the entrepreneurs. We have to do that. Is that correct? Is that how you said it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I believe that entrepreneurs, they are the ones who are recruiting people. The politicians are there to give us the environment. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And let's share our details. People want to get in touch. I know there's 1 or 2 people that want mentorship, that want somebody who holds their hand to say, listen, this is how it's done. This is which way to go. People want to also just maybe take some time, read your book as well. Give us how we can get in touch with you.
Yeah, okay. So on social media platforms, I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. It's Jerry More Nyazungu. Then my cell phone number, WhatsApp, and calls is 0719 382 136. 0719 382 136.
What are you doing on TikTok?
TikTok. I've sold 5 books on TikTok.
Star FM or Zim Papers Group. Our aim is to provide information on various societal problems and issues.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantabulous.
Is the opium of the people. Some say it is the heart of the heartless world, just as it is the spirit of a spiritless